So guys, this week's trade deadline in baseball was actually super eventful and super exciting. So we saw the Mets get Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals, an insanely good reliever and closer, who's going to be showing up probably the best bullpen in baseball as of right now. I mean, that bullpen is going to be scary to face in October. Helsley, Diaz, and they also got Ty Rogers from the Giants. And they also added on solid outfielder Cedric Mullins from the Orioles, who was another team who was in sell mode. And speaking of which, one of my favorite pitchers, Charlie Morton, went to the Tigers where he's now in a win situation. And I think that's a really good move, both for him and for that team. Then my favorite team, the Yankees, made some decent moves. Nothing too big, but they did get Jose Caballero from the Rays, Bird and Bednar, who should be really great relievers, and some other solid bullpen guys, along with Ryan McMahon from the Rockies. A pretty solid power hitter, I would say. Also, I have no clue what's going on with the San Francisco Giants. I mean, after trading for Rafael Devers at the start of the season, and the team is actually still around 500, but yet the Giants basically sold away their whole team at the deadline. I mean, Mike Yastrzemski to the Royals, Ty Rogers to the Mets, and basically all the rest of their pitchers, so I'm not exactly sure what that team's trying to do. Both Mason Miller and JP Sears went to the Padres. Adrian Hauser, a really good pitcher from the White Sox, got traded to the Tampa Bay Rays. As I said, both Jake Bird and also Bednar from the Pirates went to the Yankees. The Padres also got Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles. Carlos Correa went back to the Astros for a reunion. And Shane Bieber, the former Cy Young winner, went to the Blue Jays. So I'm not going to go through every single trade that happened, but those happen to be the biggest ones in my opinion. I think what we learned through this trade deadline is that in this current day and age, relievers and bullpen are the name of the game, especially because most starting pitchers aren't going more than 5 or 6 innings, aside from the best guys and the aces, so you better have a ton of support backing those guys up. Also, I don't think anyone saw the Blue Jays or Tigers as being some of the top teams in baseball right now, but it's going to be very interesting to see who's there at the end. I also think the Mets won the trade deadline and probably have the strongest team out there right now, and are clearly in win now mode. But of course, you can never count out the Dodgers or the Yankees, who's my favorite team. Who, speaking of my team, Giancarlo Stanton has been great ever since coming back from his injury, but we're also going to have to see where Judge is at when he comes back from his injury.